Head tells.
Heads.
Right. Tells. You serve?
Okay,
Matthew
players are
Ebden
good to
serve.
go.
Ready.
Looking forward to it very much.
Play.
Matthew Ebden to get us underway.
I think one advantage here that Kusnetsov has is that he played in the qualifying. So he's got a couple of matches under his belt. Even though he lost in the last round of qualifying, he's used to the conditions. He's had experience in the last few days of that. So that is a little asset to him.
$15 all.
Oh, lovely. Confident looking, good technique on that forehand from Kusnetsov. He really covered the ball well there. Gets appropriate topspin to take that ball out of court. That's a world-class shot.
Well, you mentioned he was a really good junior player. He was a finalist at the French Open Juniors. Way back in 2004, losing to Monfils. And then in 2005, he broke his right femur in a car accident and had a titanium rod inserted. So that's no doubt hampered his development.
Oh, good, well-structured point there from Matthew Ebden. The serve,
40-30.
First serve out wide, set that point up, and he gets this one really wide with a lot of angle, and it just opens up the court for him and makes no mistake from there.
Net for service. Game, Ebden.
Comfortable hold in the end there for Ebden. Opening game.
First game.
Alex lost in the last round of qualifying to Marius Koppel of Romania. If you missed earlier information, he's back in the draw by virtue of a lucky loser with Nick Kyrgios's inability to take the court due to a shoulder problem.
$15 $30.
Born in Kiev, as Alex lives these days in Tampa, Florida.
Yeah, I think we're going to see some good tennis here. These guys look fairly evenly matched, don't they, Jeff, in the opening couple of games? And both good athletes covering the court well. We're going to see some good rallies, and they both know how to finish the point. We saw Kuznetsov with a terrific forehand in the opening game, and that one equally as good from Matt Ebden. A lot of topspin cover on the ball to control it.
$40-15. Game, Kusnetsov.
Good wide second serve there, and a good way to finish
One game
the
on.
game. 1-all. Interesting service motion, Fitzy.
Well, there's a fair bit of upward motion, isn't there? He goes, and he doesn't go forward so much, Kuznetsov, but there's a lot of upward motion, which a lot of it, you know, you remember Andy Roddick and the way he served and how much knee bend he had, and a lot of upward motion to create some power. But a bit of arm in this serve of Kuznetsov, but very effective. I mean, the end result, I think, looks pretty good, and he's got versatility, as does Ebden. They can vary their serves towards all corners of the service box.
$15 all.
Oh, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
It's a good return from Kuznetsov, considering the serve was 208 Ks right down the centre. He's done well. Ebden using the width of the court.
40-15. $40-30. Game, Ebden.
It's been a crisp start for both players. We're on serve, Ebden leading 2-1 opening set.
Ebden leads 2 games to 1. Time.
He's missed a couple of short ones, hasn't he, Kuznetsov? For no reason, he missed a backhand on the last point of the previous game, and he hit it a long way down the net. It wasn't something that, it wasn't a ball that hit the tape and just missed. It missed by a long way, and so did that one. So a little bit of inconsistency there. Using the court well, Matt, isn't he?
Yeah, and I think he's going to get plenty of opportunities to attack the Kuznetsov second serve. It's a little pedestrian, 127 Ks an hour, that last second serve, and that allowed Ebden to get on top of the point with the very first strike on the return. So an opening of some sorts here.
$15.30.
You know, Jeff, I can't help thinking that a bright yellow shirt like this makes it awkward for the opposition.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the exact same colour of the ball, isn't it? You'd think it'd be like a reverse sight screen for the player down the other end.
First service.
Especially with eyes at this age.
You're onto all these little nuances, aren't you? You use every trick in the book, I'm sure.
I wish I'd thought of that. Well, he did well, Ebden. I thought he might come in on a couple of occasions in that point. He really is a lithe mover,
15-14.
Matthew. He's light on his feet and certainly pouncing into position to hit this forehand. Just as you saw there, he got back quickly and then moved forward with transferring his weight. Thought he might come in after the first one, but it was good enough to win the point, and it's given him 2 break points here early in the first set.
Mr. Ebden is challenging the ball on the right service line. The ball was calling.
It's pretty quick, 209 Ks. Beautifully placed. If it's in, it's well in.
Gee, Matthew completely lost sight of that one.
Four stands. 30-40.
Just a wry smile there. He's still got a break point left.
Oh, he's made it just. It was a good lob, and he mistimed his jump slightly, Kusnetsov. But just got enough reach to pull this smash down.
It was a matter of inches, wasn't it?
Yeah, it sure was. Good point.
If the lob had been 10 or 15 centimetres higher, I think it might have had him. And he catches the back edge of the line with a smash. So living dangerously.
Advantage, Ebden.
Sometimes the body language can give away what's actually inside the mind of a player, and if you're down the other end and you see that reaction, you think he's not happy with the backhand side. He's made a few errors off it, and he looked a little sluggish moving to the left side there. I thought, Jeff trying to get out. Break point again.
Oh, he's drawn an error there with that slice backhand, Ebden. So first break going the way of the Australian.
Yeah, Ebden. Ebden leads 3-1. Net, first service. Mr. Ebden changing the call on the left near sideline. The ball was called out.
What's the nearest line to the umpire, Pierre Bacci, and
Call is overturned.
It was pretty close, to be fair. So, umpire from France wasn't interested in
15 love.
becoming involved.
Thirty love.
Well, the drop shot on a hard court is a little bit of a dilemma, I think. Sometimes it's a shot that you instinctively want to use, but the ball bounces so high on this surface that you really have to hit it perfectly. Oh, that's a wonderful volley. You would have been happy with that, Jeff. He came in, hit the right amount of forward speed and side spin on this one.
15.
Well controlled.
Yeah, nice control. As you said, inside out. You can see the racket just moving across the line of flight there to give it that ability to slide away from the opponent.
(40-30).
Looks solid all around, Kusnetsov.
He does. I mean, he looks very competent there, didn't he, when he came in?
The area that's hurt him most at the moment is his first serve. He's only got 46% of first serves into play. It's early days, but Ebden, by comparison, 71%. He's getting more free points. That's pretty way. So Ebden consolidates the break. 4-1, he leads.
Ebden leads 4-1.
Little stutter step, and that was the smash that Kusnetsov got up to barely. And on break point, he got it down just on the outside of the baseline, but nevertheless was broken ultimately.
He's looked good to me, Kusnetsov, but then out of nowhere, he'll just make a strange, unforced error. And when he misses it, he actually misses it by a fair way. So it cost him on break point. He missed a forehand that wasn't a difficult shot. And we've seen him hit the middle of the net a few times on the backhand side. So the difference at the moment is that Matt Ebden is playing at the top end just as well as Kusnetsov, but his worst tennis has been a lot better. And he's made very few errors. And
3, in fact, for Ebden.
And the scoreboard shows it, doesn't it?
Net for service.
As you mentioned earlier, Fitzy, he was a really good junior player. Kusnetsov, what was expected of him. Signed some big contracts with some manufacturers. His late teenage years.
Third chiller.
But hasn't really kicked on, and presumably that car accident, the problem with the leg, would not have helped his cause at all.
Wow, good reaction there. It shows how quick Matthew Ebden is, not just with his feet, but with his hands as well there.
He looks so much fitter to me this year. He's really lean and moving, as you pointed out earlier, moving exceptionally well.
He's just safer, isn't he? He gets out there wide and
30 all.
Goes after the forehand, but he doesn't miss it, Matthew. And there's some heavyweights up there in the skybox. I'm not talking about literally, Jeff. Davis Cup captain and coaches. Gee, he's playing well.
He is playing well and looking very confident. It was a good choice, that drop shot there, because he had his opponent backing up, expecting something
30-40.
aggressive. And the last moment he changes here. He's forced his opponent deep and comes in, shapes to hit aggressively, and the last moment comes under the ball. Kuznetsov no chance. So, break point for an insurance break, if you like, right here.
Yes.
Strange point, that one.
Yeah, it was. I mean,
advantage, Ebden.
They both had opportunities, didn't they? The drop shot from Kuznetsov was the worst shot in the rally. And although Matthew didn't put the first volley away, which I thought he should have, but his quickness at the net enables him to win the point anyway. Poor choice of shot from Kuznetsov there. The drop shot was just nowhere near good enough and got him into trouble.
It's a big serve out wide. He's mixed his serve up better in this game. He's thrown in a couple of kickers as a first serve, then he's let the big one go. This is the big one, nice and flat, wide. It's too good.
Advantage, Kuznetsov.
Well, that was a must-win hold for Kuznetsov. So he's still in touch, trailing 2-4.
Ebden leads 4 games to 2.
overhead. He's a strong athlete too, isn't he?
Love 15.
Played a good point there. The short ball from Matthew Ebden got him into trouble, and Kusnetsov finishes with an excellent overhead.
Comes from a family of athletes, Kusnetsov. His father's a tennis coach, and his grandfather was a Ukrainian handball champ. Ever played handball?
No, I can't say that's
it's huge.
That's ever been my
Scandinavia, etc.
Not a forte of mine, Jeff. Gee, it's big in Europe, though, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
30-15.
Good change up. I like a player who can really play a plethora of different points. You know, he knows when to mix it up. Matthew, he can play from the back of the court. He's used his athleticism, but when the opportunity's there to sneak in, he uses it as a surprise really effectively.
First double fault from either player.
Oh, good forehand. He likes that one, especially the cross-court forehand, Kuznetsov.
Use.
He seems to hit the cross-court forehand with more forward speed. It's heavier. Really goes after it.
Advantage Ebden. Use.
Well, that's going to hurt. Two double faults, and that's a relatively wayward second serve for this level.
For the first time, there's been a bit of a chink here.
Advantage Kuznetsov.
He went after that second serve, didn't he? He tried to hit an ace, I think, on it.
Yep.
And it's got him into a bit of trouble.
Yeah, it was all looking smooth sailing at 4-2, 40-15. Double faults and a wayward ground stroke, and now Kuznetsov break back opportunity.
Well, beautiful execution there. He didn't overplay the forehand. It was a really important point, and he just doesn't overplay it. He goes for the percentage into the corner. Well, he hit it close to the line, but he didn't try to hit it too hard, and his speed did the rest. Well, that's the side a right-hander should attack to. If you've got a two-handed backhand down the other end, you know, you take a player out of court, and then it opens it up, doesn't it? So the left hand has to come off the racket of Kuznetsov, and usually then you have a volley that you can put away.
Oh, resilient under pressure is Ebden. 5-2 leads now, first set.
Ebden leads 5-2. Time.
Ebden timing the ball well, looking fit, and at the moment seemingly having this first set in the palm of his hand at 5-2. Just got a broken...
Well, that's an issue.
Yeah.
And that comes about because of the players sliding on this hard court. So they slide wide, the laces actually come into contact with the court surface. Hard to believe, isn't it? But they do, and it can tear them to shreds at times. So hope he's got a spare one there.
Okay, showing the new balls to Ebden. 2-5.
15 love. Love.
Seems to me when he gets set, he probably plays as well as most players. But the difference is here that when he's rushed and having to compromise a little bit, he hasn't been able to come up with the goods, I think, to stay in the point sometimes. But so many of these modern players, Jeff, don't they? When they hit a good serve and they get a short ball, they just know how to finish the point. And they all look good.
Yep, the serve and the forehand are the dominant weapons in men's tennis. That's for sure. 40-15. Ebden not sure whether to challenge or not, but apparently not. So got away with an ordinary approach shot there. It's Ebden 5-3.
Ebden leads 5-3. Kusnetsov is changing the call on the right baseline. The ball was called out.
Well, he's got 3 challenges to use, has Kusnetsov, and he figures that this is a big point. Oh, and look at that. So they'll have to replay this point. But, you know, that reverts a little bit of pressure back onto the server, who's trying to close out this set. So not a bad move from Kusnetsov. Is that unnecessary error? That's the difference here to me. You're not getting those, unless Matthew Ebden is really pressed, he's not making any errors, whereas Kusnetsov out of nowhere is just missing for no reason. He should make that shot.
Well, that point set up by an excellent second serve from Ebden.
30 love.
That's the one right there. Took some courage and confidence, particularly having served 2 double faults on his previous service game. So well done, backed himself.
Love.
That's a bad miss, too.
Yeah, it's, as you said, it just seems to come from nowhere. That was right in his hitting zone, and it found the bottom of the net. So 3 set points now for the Australian. And finishes it.
Yeah, man, first
with
set.
a beautiful ace. So in 36 minutes, first set going the way of Ebden.
Time. Second set, Kusnetsov to serve. Fifteen love. Thirty love. Thirty 15. 30-all. Thirty 40. Net for service. Net for service.
Well, a couple of inexplicable errors from
First game, second set.
Kusnetsov, and a couple of good returns from Ebden, but he'll take it. One love, the Australian early break, second set. Some highlights from the first set, Fitzy.
Yeah, I think the better player certainly won the first set because his game was more solid, Matthew Ebden. He covers the court well. We've talked a bit about that. It was very evident in the first set that his athleticism is a major part of his strength, and just didn't try to do too much at the right time, kept his errors to a minimum, and was helped on occasion by, I think, by Kusnetsov making some unforced errors unnecessarily. And we saw it again in the first game of the second. You know, Kusnetsov had 30 love in the first game and put in a very ordinary performance from there. So it's really opened the door for Matthew, and he's a good competitor. You'd expect him to really grab this opportunity by both hands.
Set, so both players are given 3 incorrect challenges again.
15 love.
And that's his first this set.
Kusnetsov has 2 challenges remaining.
Funny, that same serve is the one he's missed, isn't it? The second serve, when he goes for the big one down the middle, he's hit it wide a couple of times. But I think serving pretty well. I mean, he's served, you know, 3 double faults for the match,
15.
but 5 aces, and generally speaking, it's been very effective for him.
Well, just changed it up nicely there, Kusnetsov, because we noticed he'd been going for the cross-court forehand a lot, and Ebden hangs in this corner expecting it. Seen there, he's way out of position, and the down-the-line shot embarrassing him in the end. So 30-all.
Net for service.
Oh, he's missed it.
Well, he did the right thing, didn't he? And you wouldn't expect him to miss that. That's unusual.
30-40.
He's usually very safe with that backhand volley. And look, the chip from Kusnetsov, not bad. It makes Ebden play a reasonably delicate volley. He'll be disappointed there. Break point to get back into this set.
It's wide, so Kusnetsov has indeed broken back. That seemed to come from nowhere. Well done, though, for the American.
1 game on.
His modus operandi, Fitzy, has been to get around that backhand a lot, Ebden, and hit the forehand. And you need to be moving well, and you made that point particularly. Look how many forehands he's been hitting. Huge percentage.
That's interesting, isn't it? Because it obviously means he prefers the forehand. He does most of his damage with that shot, and it's the leg speed, the foot speed that he has in his repertoire that allows him to do that. He's very lithe, he backs away quickly, and he's well balanced when he does so.
Fifteen love. Love.
He'll be mentally a bit disappointed here at the moment, Matthew Ebden. He had the break in hand. Things were looking rather rosy for him there at a set and 1 love. So he'll just have to gather his thoughts now. You know, I always think, Jeff, you know, when you watch a lot of junior tennis, that when things go against young players, sometimes they let it steamroll. You know, they don't put their competitive thoughts back into motion and stop the rot early enough. You know, the good players, it's okay to have a couple of bad games or lose a couple in a row, but you have to be good enough to put an end to that rot very quickly and get back on an even keel and compete again. So he's had his bad couple of games.
He
has indeed. Kuznetsov now leading 2-1 in the second set.
Kuznetsov leads 2 games to 1.
But they are the fanatics. They're a very well recognised feature of the Australian sporting lexicon society. They're everywhere, aren't they? They've been supporting tennis and tennis tournaments wherever Australians are playing anywhere. Davis Cup.
Yeah, they are everywhere. Yep. They're like Chicken Man. You know? He was everywhere.
Was everywhere. Well, things have just gone awry for Ebden. Up a set and a break, and his previous service game, recall at 30 all, he missed just a bread and butter volley. And since then, he's made a number of unforced errors, so he's Gonna need to regroup here, trailing 1-2.
He's a good young pro, though, isn't he? And you can't let the disappointment consume you. You have to move on quickly and compete again.
Love 15.
A few concerned brows there, perhaps having a little discussion as to how to prevent these sorts of lapses from Ebden in the future, perhaps. As you well know, Fitzy, Davis Cup match coming up pretty soon, so Ebden very much in the mix.
It's like the biggest one we've had for a while too, back in the World Group, Jeff.
So that's in February.
Yep, it's the weekend following the Australian Open final weekend, so coming up very quickly. Big match against a powerhouse nation, though, France.
40-15.
So you can see the professionalism here kicking in for Matthew Ebden. You know, he's put that disappointment behind him. He was cruising at a set and a break, and just a little hiccup, and now he's back on track. Good to see.
Good serve. 2-all.
2 games all. Love.
I think he's lifted his game a little bit here, though, Kusnetsov. He's missing less and certainly trading blows now.
Love.
That was a flashback.
Well, if you're going to make a wayward shot, I guess 40 loves the time to do it. But as you said, credit to Kusnetsov, down a set and a break, and he's on the Pat Raft Arena and a big crowd supporting the Australian. It would have been easy enough to perhaps go through the motions, but he's been resolute and being rewarded at the moment. Kusnetsov leading 3-2 in the second.
Kusnetsov leads 3 games to 2. Time.
beautiful touch from both players. In actual fact, Kusnetsov hit a really classy chip across court there and makes this. He does the right thing. This is a really good shot. Makes Ebden come up with the goods, and he's capable of it. Beautiful feel. On the hard court?
Yeah, as you quite rightly pointed out, it's high bouncing and the balls are relatively quick. So even when they bounce, it's tough to get backspin on the ball. So not a good choice.
On the clay, on the slower high bouncing clay courts, it's a shot that you don't have to be quite so precise with it. There's more reward, I think.
Well, you can get the ball to bite more, can't you? You just can't get the ball to bite on the hard court. So just again, a little moment of stress here for Ebden. 15-30. Well, losing rhythm on serve. He's not happy with the tension in his strings, he's indicating, and starting to just panic a little bit. So that's the 5th double fault.
And the first real bit of negative body language from Matthew. Frustrated here.
So
that's tension in the strings, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
That he's complaining about.
Indeed. Yeah. 2 break points now for Kusnetsov. Well, away with toss there, nothing to do with the strings. It's double fault. Kusnetsov now up a break.
Kusnetsov leads 4-2.
Six double faults, Fitzy, and that last toss was quite wayward and in some difficulty here, Ebden.
Well, you can understand it happening on the last point because he just served a double. He was unhappy with the tension of the strings. He's indicating it's too loose, I think, for him, and he's losing control. And then when he misses his first serve again on the break point, you think, uh-oh, he's going to be afraid to really hit this one. So that's just not a good approach. Bad choice from Kuznetsov. A forehand approach up the middle to your opponent's forehand. Not good percentage. This is just asking for trouble coming in after that.
Fabulous crowds here again today. A beautiful arena, Pat Rafter Arena. Real intimacy about it. It continues to grow in popularity with fans and players alike.
Certainly in a soft spot here, Matthew Ebden. His intensity's dropped off, and for the first time in the match, he's actually looking a little bit tentative.
Wow.
Yeah, not the best tennis the last 10 minutes, is it?
No. Wayward forehand there, so maybe he's going to gift something back here to Ebden. Break points. Well, we made the point earlier, and we had a little graphic of how Ebden likes to run around the backhand, and a good strategy is obviously to go to the forehand, and certainly recent times that's exactly what Kuznetsov's been doing. He's been looking to go down the line to the forehand, and it's paying some dividends. Still got 1 break point to stave off, though. Oh, Ebden is back. He's done well. Stop the bleeding. 4-3.
Blue balls, please. Kusnetsov leads 4 games to 3. Time.
Alex continue to endeavour to lift Ebden. Some raucous singing at the break.
I didn't notice whether Matthew Ebden changed his racket at the change of ends, but it wouldn't surprise me because he certainly felt that the tension had disappeared a little bit out of the restring he had in the previous racket. So let's hope he finds his rhythm here again on the serve. Not sure that's the best tactic there. 140 k's an hour straight into the forehand wing of Kusnetsov. Not really effective enough.
30-15.
Smart serve there, though. Getting the pace off that one and the angle, the increase in angle up the line there. Taking this ball wide. Well, the good news, I think, for Matthew here is that he certainly hasn't played his best tennis in the second set. He was really solid in the first, but he looks like being 4-all in the second, being a bit below par, so that's a good sign.
Yeah,
indeed, that's the case. 4-all.
Four games on.
Well, for me, you know, if I was playing Kuznetsov, I'd be trying to make him move quickly and wide to his backhand as much as I can, because to me that's his biggest weakness. When he has to go quickly and hit with strength at stretch, that's where he breaks down a little bit.
That was a tension-filled shot from Ebden. He knew what he had to do, and he just pulls up and hits down, and it doesn't commit to it. You see, he was very tentative there. This is a pivotal moment, isn't it, emotionally for Ebden? He's got to really back himself and believe here. The previous slice backhand was, as we pointed out, full of tension. He's got to start backing himself here if he's to make that next step.
His intensity's back, isn't it, in this game?
15-40.
He's up and about, Matthew Ebden, and now he can turn a deficit into a quick victory here. 2 break points to give himself the opportunity to serve for this match.
Net first service. $30-40.
He looks calm, but inwardly, I'm sure the heart rate is up. One more break point to go. Well, the break has come his way. It's been a topsy-turvy second set, but in a moment, Ebden will serve for the match.
Ebden leads 5 games to 4. Time.
Been a good week for Australians so far, and Matt Ebden looking to make it even better here if he can serve out this match. First point not going his way, though. It was taken from him by some good aggressive play from Kusnetsov.
$15-all.
Well, you're happy to see that when you're serving for the match. A particularly difficult shot from Kusnetsov's point of view, but he just overcooked him by a long way.
I find him a little enigmatic, you know. It's an enigma to me why he misses by so much sometimes. You know, the really good players, mate, if they miss, they usually just miss long or wide or in the tape, but he sprays them when he misses.
30-all.
Oh, now come on, Matthew, get up and into that second serve. He collapsed a little bit there, and it's seventh double fault. He needs to get up, be positive, reach. Okay, that's a better one. Good swinging serve, and it's getting a match point. He'd like to wrap this up right here, right now. And he's done just that. It wasn't pretty all the time, but a win is a win. So Matthew Ebden through to the second round. And it took just over an hour and 12 minutes thereabouts. And he's a victor over Kusnetsov of the United States in straight sets, 6-3, 6-4.